Have we seen vast improvement in the life and status of women in Afghanistan?
I would say that if you compare the situation of women in Afghanistan now compared to before 10 years ago, it has improved a lot. Before we didn't have a parliament in our country at all. Now we not only have a parliament, 35% of representation is that of women. And daily when I go to work, it's my own personal observation that I see so many women going to schools as school teachers, and women going as nurses and as doctors, and little girls going to school to attend school, and even in some areas you could find police women. So it shows that women are keen on taking a much more active role, and they want to go outside and they want to contribute. And slowly and gradually I think that if there is a little more security, stability in some other regions in our country, there will be much more participation, because unfortunately in some areas still we see the presence of Taliban, and because of them women cannot go to schools, or they're threatened not to go to school. But with the much more better in those provinces, many women would be very interested to go, because when they see how there are women in parliament, how an active role they are taking, and there are other women who are like actively contributing to the society, they also want to take on that role, and they are interested to get educated. If you compare the situation like some time ago, in most of the provinces, the security situation wasn't so good. I mean, because of the presence of Taliban. But now if you see more, we get to see on the news that Taliban are giving, some Taliban in some provinces, we do get to hear that they are giving up their arms, and they are joining the government because they don't want to carry on with their terrorist activities any longer. And in many provinces we have seen that what ISAF and NATO are doing, they have maintained the peace and security in the region, and that's why there are more and more women we can see they are able to go to school. And that's why we are really hopeful that they will keep their forces for some longer time till the Afghan military is capable of defending the country, and they are like able to protect the country against any external or internal conflicts.
How do you communicate democratic ideas?
At the moment, there are certain, indirect ways of communication that are used, and that's, I think, the most effective. Instead of talking about democracy, women's rights, everything, that a lot of people in rural might think that it is a kind of westernized concept. When we talk about, let's say, if you have a problem with somebody, instead of beating him up, you should go to a police station and register a complaint. Or you as a citizen have certain rights and responsibilities, and the role of members of parliament are the following, and that these kind of civic education, these initiatives have been conducted by the NGOs most prominently, and voter registration processes have been educated to the people throughout the country. So instead of direct saying that democracy is good and that wouldn't make a lot of sense for the people, these projects are conducted.
I think democracy is more of a process than as an end product. In my audience in Germany, and also my friends in Italy, they ask me whether this kind of democracy that we would like to build in Afghanistan, is it there or not? I say, well, democracy has started. It's a process. It will find its true place in Afghanistan, and it will also be a blend of the Afghan society with democracy. So it may be a unique democracy, something that will be of a good research value for the students of political science.
If someday all of you become journalists and you come to Afghanistan, please, I've personally noticed that when journalists from other countries, they come, one thing that there's so much emphasis is women in a burqa, but I don't think that that's the only thing that's going on in Afghanistan. Maybe if a woman is wearing a burqa, she feels comfortable wearing it. I mean, some might be oppressed, some might be forced into wearing it, but there might be some other who just feel comfortable, or maybe they just like wearing it. So if you come, please do something else, or like, no, I mean, what I'm saying is that even in airport, when I just pick a book about Afghanistan, and I read the back page, it's like, this girl born in this family, she faced these challenges, she was oppressed. I just put it back. I'm like, okay, another book about a woman who's oppressed, and then somehow she found her freedom. Maybe you could, I mean, somebody can write a book that there's a woman, she's a doctor, she has healthy kids, she has a very healthy lifestyle, and she lives happily. I mean, you can write a book about something like that, but it has become so much common that either if it's a journalist, he or she's writing about a woman in a burqa, or if it's an author, he just writes a book about a woman who's been oppressed. There's so many other colorful things in our culture, and we are happy people. We like to celebrate Eid, and we want to celebrate Nowruz, a New Year. So there's so many other things that happy things which will make people happy. So.
Thank you very much. It's very... Thank you all.